Hey guys, Crypto Walker here at cryptomentoring.com, and I wanted to just do a quick Bitcoin update. Everybody's wondering which way Bitcoin will go. Is it a good time to buy? Should they be holding? Should they sell? What's going to happen with CME futures contracts expiring tomorrow? And we all wish we had our crystal ball and could see into the future and tell everybody with certainty exactly what's going to happen. But the reality is nobody knows. We're all looking at Bitcoin. We're all paying attention to Bitcoin because it really determines the way altcoins are going to go and what we should do with our trading. So I'm a big believer in the long-term Bitcoin and cryptocurrency world, but right now with CME futures contracts expiring tomorrow, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. So as you can see, the futures contracts really started, CME futures contracts launched on the peak of Bitcoin. How perfect was that? And of course, Bitcoin had done its, 5 times in 5 weeks, had grown. And so they shorted it naturally. I mean, of course you would. If it had gone from 3,000 to 19.8 in 5 weeks, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to have to take a rest, have a pullback, digest some of all that, growth that just happened before it has enough strength, enough power in this rebound to reverse, which it will, but we just don't know are they going to short it again tomorrow after their contracts expire, or are they going to go long? Now, I am more of the mindset that they're going to go long, right? I mean, I think that they have sold their Bitcoin at spot, shorted all the way down, slowly purchased at these lows here in the $9,000, $10,000 area, slowly purchased, and that's why we've seen these spikes, and now they're getting ready to go long on their futures contracts, and they've reaccumulated their Bitcoin. That's what I think, but I don't know for sure, right? So tomorrow is really the day. Having looked at everything here, as far as the chart goes, it looks bullish to me. We've had really nice long wicks on the daily close, which is a bullish pattern. We had a bullish engulfing candle here after this doji. That's another bullish pattern. We'll see what happens with today's closing candle. If we haven't been able to cross over this resistance, this trend line here, if we pass over the trend line and then bounce back to retest it, that's extremely bullish. But if tomorrow, for some reason, they decide to short it, I could see it coming back down, retesting this trend line here, this bottom trend line in this white box area. I'm paying a lot of attention to that area because every time it's gone here, it's bounced off, which is a good sign that it's abiding, it's staying within the trend. But if it breaks through that trend line, my next target zone is here in the $8,000 area on this descending trend line, okay? And no matter what, I think we'd have a good bounce back up to retest this upper trend line that it has been above, gosh, since when? Since September, okay? This is a trend line that's held. But if it breaks down under this trend line, it will go to the descending trend line most likely and then bounce up to retest this trend line. If it doesn't bounce through this trend line, it will go back down again. And, that will be confirmation that it has been shorted and that, we're headed down to maybe the $5,000 zone, okay? So pay a lot of attention. What happens in the next 48, 72 hours will be the telltale sign. The daily close today will help. The daily close tomorrow, we'll see what happens. Is it going down? Is it going up? But the daily close on Saturday is really going to tell us where the market is headed over the next month, 2 months, 3 months. All right, guys, I know that doesn't really help a lot, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it at tomorrow. Is it going to break above this trend line and then come back to retest it? Or is it just going to break down to test this trend line? And if it breaks through this trend line, is it headed to the $8,000 area? And then it will have a nice bounce back up. So I won't get out of any of my position until it has that bounce back up to retest this trend line. But I am paying very close attention. If it does pass through this trend line, I'll be cutting out of most of my altcoin trades because it'll just take the altcoins down with it. And I will get out of my Bitcoin trades and into US dollars or US Tether, most likely US dollars, as it bounces back up to retest this trend line. I'll be paying close attention to what happens here before deciding if I'm going to get out of my trades or if I'm going to let them ride because it bounces through the trend line. You know, it just depends. We could have some consolidation here, as we've seen for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. It could continue to go sideways and consolidate. If that's what happens, if it just does this, let me get a, oh, whoops, my drawing tool. Sorry guys, hold on a second. If it just continues to do what it's doing and just, you know, bounce back and forth until it breaks out, fabulous. That's very bullish sign. That's a sign of a good time to accumulate Bitcoin, you know, in this zone right here, as it just goes sideways because it's accumulating energy and people are buying, keeping it at that level. They're buying, you know, a little bit here and there. We won't see big waves or anything, but little waves. That's a sign of good consolidation and an opportunity for it to bounce with some major velocity and hit those, you know, $25,000, $30,000 mark, if not higher. But short term, the next 24 to 48 hours are ones to really pay attention to. And now I would just recommend just until you know which direction Bitcoin's going to go, don't take a lot of trades. All right. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So look long term instead of for short term, you know, 20% gains. Look long term for the larger gains and protect, and, you know, with some risk management, protect the portfolio that you do have. All right, guys. Happy to be here. Stay profitable.